Dana, we've got a republished episode of one of our favorites, Nikki Glaser.
Nikki Glaser.
Nikki Glaser.
She's fun. She's
Nikki
fun. This was a fun one.
Super fun.
Mm-hmm.
She, the good thing about Nikki, a lot of these comedians that I see or hang out with, she is a good laugher. Comedians that don't give it up at all. It's kind of tough to have goofy conversations. She laughs a lot. She is always writing, which I like. She always wants to keep that act moving. It's
hard worker, dedicated.
She's a grinder. My God, her road gigs. I look at her Instagram. It's like microscopic. I can't even read all the cities she's going to, and that takes its toll. It's a tough job. Mm-hmm. She's always upbeat on the show. We play Vegas together. We're actually
and it was fun. You guys are friends. I was invited to a dinner with her.
That's right. During COVID.
Yeah. And she's her act is very adult, but she's actually sort of old fashioned, but incredibly sweet, and doesn't have any airs about her. In this episode you're going to listen to, she was sort of kind of on a roll, but she said, this will be the hottest I'll ever be. It was after the Tom Brady roast, I believe, if I have this correct. Is that right?
I think so. And I think it was before Golden Globes, I think.
Yes, it was before Golden Globes after that. And she was
blew her up again. So
she was kind of self-effacingly saying, I've just peaked. I had a run, and so.
But she's still killing it. She's selling out. She's doing great. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're at the Venetian in Vegas this weekend. So a lot of fun with her. Actual friend, actually someone I text with. And
absolutely. She's incredibly easy and fun to talk to.
Here she is.
What's the state tax? Are you taxed in your native state?
I would never know that. I live in Missouri, and I rent an apartment, and I don't own a home. I don't own a car. I don't have kids. But I do spend a lot of money to see Taylor Swift and stuff like that. And I eat out for every meal.
You don't have a car? So you just Uber everywhere?
I bought my mom a car, and then I took her car. And so I'm driving my mom's car.
I paid for it. That's a great present. Just keep taking it back.
How are your parents?
No, my mom's old car.
How are your parents handling having a famous daughter who's really successful? How are they?
Oh,
how does that?
They're famous, Dana. They're on her Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, my parents, there were 5 kids, and so tons of pictures on the refrigerator. And then as I got more and more successful, it eventually was just all me. And I said, Mom, what are you doing? So. Did she have ambitions, or did your mom or dad, to be in theater arts?
My dad is a musician and plays around St. Louis in grocery stores and different bars.
Don't lowball him like that.
I know he hates when I start with grocery stores, but it mainly is groceries. But he's a great musician. He just wanted a family and safety, so he chose a career in cable, which was safe for many years until he got out, he got out. And then, So he took the safe route, and then he really believed in me and always supported me. I knew when I first started, it was going to take, I said 8 years before I wouldn't depend on them to help me out a little bit here and there. Mm-hmm. And it was 8 years on the day where I didn't need them anymore, where I got that first check that kind of made it so they weren't covering my overdraft fees.
Warren, but in your own mind, I can talk for David or me. It's it didn't seem like a risk. I was like, well, I'm just going to try this. I mean, were you one maybe I should have a plan B and be a junior high school?
No, my plan B was kill myself someday. I mean, honestly, that was kind of I was I guess I don't know what I'll do if I don't find an in some way, because I tried all the other ins. I tried acting, I had tried singing, and no one cared to hear any more of that. And I mean, I wanted to go to theater school and be an actress, and then I couldn't even get booked in my high school play. I was always in the Diary of Anne Frank, I was Jewish townsperson B, and that was my senior year of this is going to be my role. And so I was getting all the feedback that I did not have
Anne Frank, that's not.
Townsperson B. That's
her really plan nice. B was just a pill plan B. That was it, right? That's the only plan B we've heard.
I had no, but did you guys have a plan B? Was there, did you even, I think that's part of why I was successful, was that I didn't even, there was just no chance that it wasn't going to happen. Maybe I let that thought in for 20 minutes of my whole time struggling. Maybe it never even occurred. I feel like I hear about like Jim Carrey and manifesting stuff. And I think I unintentionally manifested this career because I never let in a thought that it wouldn't happen.
Well, I think that's good. I mean, for me, it was like, I think after a few years, I don't know the eras of comedy booming, but at some point I was averaging $500 to $600 a month, $50 gig, $25 birthday party. So then I was like, in those days, too bad for the younger generation, that was my job. So now this is my job. I was a waiter before this, and a damn good one.
Yeah.
But
I love waiting tables too. Yeah.
This is my job. So then I just went wherever. But I just thought, if this is what I do to make money on planet Earth, this would be a good way to go.
Yeah, even if it stayed at that level, you mean?
Yeah, what a waiter. I always say a waiter's wage, and now it'd be like $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month, probably.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, my overhead, like you, Nikki, when you start, everyone when they start is a minimal overhead. So I quit too early. I was in Arizona State, but I was working at a clothing store. And I was also
quit.
And I quit because I was making $80 a week. I was making 4 gigs that are $20 a pop, and I was like, I feel like I got this because I wasn't. But and then I got out of school. My mom was like, "God damn!" I'm like, "Listen, I wanted to be a radio DJ because that was the only other thing you could sleep in, and then maybe do the afternoon shift, and it didn't seem that hard." But I thought I can't have. Everything was too tough. School started to get hard. I got distracted by stand up. So
what were you studying to be?
Like lofty goals.
Were you in school to be something?
It was not. It was a little early on because I was still like in anthropology and things that didn't matter. But it was to ultimately be in advertising because my dad was and my brother Andy was.
Okay, that makes sense. And advertising is the thing that you go, okay, that was always my fallback too. I was like, because it's creative, but apparently it's even more soulless than what we do. Like it's you're so creative all day and it's sometimes fun, but it's like, you're ultimately just trying to manipulate people with your art. And that's got to be kind of depressing, which is what we are doing a lot of times as well.
So we've asked people this before, but like, okay, your first set.
Yeah.
And where was it in the day of the first set that you're going to go?
Of course it was good, right? Because none of us would do it.
Always good.
Again, do you know how many comedians that would be like just legends right now that just had a rough first set and couldn't even imagine how good it feels to have a good set? Because that is what keeps you coming back, is that memory of the good one. No amount of bad ones make you forget it and chase it. But of course it was good. It was at University of Colorado. It was my freshman year. Ooh. And I was like really not doing well mentally. I had an eating disorder. I was like on death's door, literally. I was about to die, and I was praying to die because it's just a miserable life. You don't eat, you can't eat because that's part of the disease. You're hungry all the time. You're cold. No one wants to be friends with you because they think you're like on a diet trying to look hot, even though like that's the last thing you're trying to do. You're just like stuck. It's like, it's the fucking worst. It's having a terminal illness and everyone blaming you for it and thinking that you chose it because you want to be hot. It's like, it sucks.
Quit choosing to be hot.
Yeah. Well, because it starts that way, right? Like you do a diet and it kind of works. You get some attention. And then I went, as I do, but I just couldn't. I went bananas and didn't even eat one of those a week. And just like it, and so I was really good at it, but then it got really bad. I was hospitalized and stuff. So I went off to school to like get away from my parents who were like monitoring what I was up to with not eating. And it was already my plan to go out of state for school, but then I caught this eating disorder deciding to go out of state and leaving for it. And I was hospitalized during the summer at home. It's rough, but I tricked them all, got out, was like, I'll eat enough and I'll go to school, I'll be responsible. All the doctors are telling my parents, she's going to die if she goes there. Like, there's no question. I was like, yes, like, let me, this is hell. I don't even know how to get out of this. I don't want to get out of it. Like, it's fucked. But then, because I looked so scary, this is my theory, because I looked so scary and no one wanted to be my friend, I just became like loud and like funny and like told stories and like, you know, when we're introducing ourselves around the dorm or at the sorority, I was like rushing a sorority. I looked like a skeleton, like it was crazy. But I just was so funny that people started forgetting the way I looked and wanting to be friends with me. Or I just amped up. Yeah. And I'd never done that before. I never needed to do that before. I kind of just always wanted to be not noticed. But at this point, I was so noticeable by the way I looked, I couldn't not get ahead of it. And then that was when I started hearing like, you should be a comedian. And I was like, huh? Like, is that I knew about stand-up, but I didn't pay attention. It wasn't, I liked SNL, I liked Seinfeld, I liked Friends, I liked Conan. That was like the pillars of my comedy obsession, but I didn't get into stand-up. And then I like Googled it in my dorm room and was like,
is it true you were inspired by John Bonet? And her early success.
Seriously, I didn't put the joke in my special, which is coming out
May
11th.
May 11th? Dude. What's the name of it?
HBO. It's called Someday You'll Die. And it's Saturday, May 11th. So it's already out now by, I think, the time this is airing.
But
so just go check it out. HBO, Someday You'll Die. And I cut it from the special, but because I had too many jokes about like wanting pretty girls to die. And so I had to lose one of them. So it was, the joke is a true story. I've always been like insecure, always wanting to be the center of attention, not knowing how to like get it. I feel like that's faded as I get older and realize it's not that fun. But initially I was always like, who doesn't want to be famous? Like, do you guys relate to that? Like your friends in high school or middle school? But mine were like, not really. We don't really care about being famous. And I'm like, what? Isn't that everything?
I think now, I mean, a younger generation, because everyone is famous in their own way with Instagram, all that. But I said this to Jerry Seinfeld. I check with my wife once a year. I go, honey, did I ever say I wanted to be rich and famous ever?
Really?
And she said no, because I was just trying to win the club.
That's embarrassing.
I was trying to get to the middle and then get to the headline. I was just thinking like that. It was too abstract that I would be famous, too crazy that I could be on TV, and it hurt me in a lot of ways throughout my career. I never was able to really take it in.
So Dana, what motivated you was just becoming a headliner. Like that was the first. Like I just want to be able to make a living, a good living, a decent living, doing stand up and making people laugh.
Yeah, and I came from a track and field cross country background. So I was also really, really competitive, but not in a nasty way. But when Robin Williams was there initially, and then he left to do Mork and Mindy, when he came back, which I said many times, I don't know. And he would levitate the room, as I call it.
Yeah.
And it looked like he wasn't trying. It was explosive. I just thought, well, there's a standard.
Yeah.
So I kept saying, I've got to get more intense. And I was horrible. I would have one joke after like a 5-minute setup for a while. It's like, I see a short setup and then a lot of, it took me a long time.
But Nikki, man, you figured it out? I mean, so quickly. You got to this level. Yeah, I mean, but relative, like you had it from being like bombing wildly on stage to figuring out how to elicit the kind of laughs Robin Williams gets. You figured it out, and but that's so interesting to me. Because there is a difference. Like I think for me being famous is just like being loved, like it sounds vapid, but it's like at its core, it's just like, I just want love and acceptance. I want to be able to survive in the world because people like me already, it's just a survival instinct. So I want to take some vapidity away from it because it feels like, I just want everyone to like, is that even a word? I just want everyone to,
I like that. You're already walking into a room and we have the benefit where people know you and have mostly a positive opinion, or at least you're not scary. At least when you walk up to people or you say, oh, your kids are cute, they don't think you're a psychopath. They're like, oh, this guy. Or any situation, you can say hi to people, or you can, and they kind of are off guard already. They're not like, hey, fuck you, don't walk up to me. Don't say hi to me.
Doesn't that make sense in an evolutionary standpoint of like wanting the whole tribe to know who you are and care about keeping you around because and having some stake in your existence? I mean, it comes from it makes sense where it comes from. But Dana, I think I also have that in me too, that competitive nature that I didn't know, because I think I'm the same way of like, I'm not like throwing a remote control if I lose a video game kind of angry competitive, but I am viciously competitive. And you realize it when you do things like the roast, which is like, I was just thinking about this is like 2 days after the roast. And like immediately you walk off stage and everyone's like, this was the best, this was the second best, this was like, it is a ranking thing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's why I like roasts, is because I finally found a way in comedy to like compete and in a way that I feel comfortable competing. Like I can't compete maybe in other ways in comedy. And I don't look at like going up at this Comedy Store against people as a competition, but this is like, you have 5 minutes, everyone's doing the same thing. It's the same task, and who's the best? And it brings out that nature in
the
me.
real thing is you have 5 minutes. Everyone's doing 23.
It's so true. Oh my God.
I texted you during the roast. I go, is everyone going fucking long or what's going on here?
Well, it was interesting. They told us like, football players are getting 3 minutes. Belichick's getting 2, and then you're getting 6. Andrew's getting 6. Jeff's getting 6. And everyone went over because the laughs. You don't account for the laughs at the forum. But I will say they were like, I thought they were going to be a lot more strict about, you can't do this. You can't say this. But get this, I'm sitting. So I have my set like, I'm down to the wire, right? I've been working for a month on perfecting every fucking word, every transition. Everything makes sense. Finally get it down, submit it. And I mean like under the wire, then rush to the red carpet. Out of the red carpet, I go, do I have time to go to prompter to see what this fucking looks like even? Read through the prompter. I'm in the prompter room. All the comedians, all the people on the dais are in the room. So I'm like, can they get behind? I'm reading through. Kevin's behind me. I'm like, Kevin Hart, will you not look at it? But he couldn't see over everyone's shoulders anyway, so it didn't fucking matter. So I was like, can you raise the monitor? And so he, I'm reading through. I like, and then rushed right on stage. I sit down. Kevin comes up to do his set first, open, and he does one of my jokes.
The classic roast situation.
Do you think he saw it on the prompter or just parallel?
Oh my God, that setup sounded like I thought he stole it. No. Yeah, no, sorry about
parallel
that.
development.
Yes, obviously. And but I was just like, how did they not catch this? But the truth is, like, the writing team is getting jokes last minute. Kevin chose his jokes very last minute. They're entering them in. No one cross-checked it. So his joke is that Tom Brady got out of his divorce and then he's been fucking around town so much his dick has CTE. And mine was about masturbating to him to research for this, and my clit has CTE. But on mine, I have a tag that I'm like, okay, that makes it different. So I'll just blow past the fact that I do the same joke. But I'm also like, at first I'm just, my face, I can't even, I'm on camera, but I'm like,
how do you get it off the prompter? During the show, you can't get it off the prompter, right?
No, it's a live show. There's no producer to call. We're on stage already sat. I'm like, do I talk into my lav and think maybe someone hears me? I don't have an in-ear to hear if they hear me. Jeff Ross, who's the producer, comes and sits down next to me. I go, I have the same joke Kevin just did, and I can't take it out of the prompter. The prompter guy is not going to be able, I haven't worked with him enough to, hey, if I do this, just go to the next one. I had it set. So then I'm looking at one of my friends who's in the front row, and she knows my set backwards and forwards. And I go, and she's like deer in headlights look too. And I go, what do I do? And she's just like looking at the carpet, because we're trying to think of another joke that will fit coming out of, Tom, you were on my fantasy team last night, and then transition after the CTE, like into something CTE without saying it. Like,
and can you jump the line without the prompter freaking out and blowing your rhythm?
But that's the thing. I'm like, I don't think I can, because I'm like, I don't even know. And then it would ruin my flow entirely if I stopped and go, hey, can you? And then I go, okay, maybe I'll just say the joke and go, that would have gotten better had it not been already set, like address it. But then that's like, do I need to? I've never performed for even this big of a crowd before. It's at the Forum. So it's like, I don't know the dynamics of the sound and what people like. And so, but then I did the math on it. I was like, okay, there's enough time between me and that joke that they might reset. Like, they'll subconsciously know that isn't as funny as it would have been without hearing it, but maybe they won't be able to place it.
I think so. I mean, I just noticed it. And I went, oh, well, the head didn't talk to the tail. That was just, and there was going to be.
Yeah, no one's going to be like, she stole that.
Other people talking about how beautiful Tom Brady is, how attractive he is, and stuff like that. Or is he gay? Yeah. So can you not have overlap?
There's going to be bumps.
Definitely. And I was surprised that there weren't more, like, when I submit, because after that happened, it was one of his first jokes. And so the rest of the time I'm watching the teleprompter, like, where else? Like, what am I going to do? Like, it was just that moment of, live TV, which obviously you guys are used to, where it's like, I got to make a decision. And let's just see if it's the right one.
But you have the best line of the night.
Which was?
I thought it was the most clever. It was hard hitting. But it really made me laugh out loud. And that was, how does it feel? I won't even say it, that when he can kick your ass while he eats.
Eat. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I'd say that I talk about Tom Brady. Now, Giselle, his ex-wife, is dating a jujitsu instructor. I was like, that's gotta hurt knowing your ex-wife's new boyfriend could beat your ass while eating hers.
I like that you don't say
I'm
eating
glad
her
that you
ass.
like that, because I was like, did I even say that? Poor Giselle.
Well, it's so outrageous, but it was constructed really well.
Thank
you said hers. You didn't say ass twice.
Yep,
there was a reason it was palatable.
Thank you. That really means a lot.
Well, I'll just tell you point blank. It doesn't matter that you're on the thing. I thought you won the night. You saw how Kevin Hart react. If there is a competition, there isn't.
He was a good reactor, though.
Dude, he really did give it up to you. You know, me, not no money line and all that. I mean, he sincerely in that moment was giving it up to you, like, that's how it's done. It doesn't get any better. So you must have felt good after that.
I mean, amazing, because you guys know, like, we are all kind of in competition sometimes. And for another comedian like Kevin Hart, who definitely has achieved that level of success by making things about him and probably not making it about other people and shining the light on them. That's how you get there, to use that time to break. I mean, he literally went up and was like quoting people's jokes, just saying them again. Yeah. He literally, after I got a standing ovation, which I didn't even know about, he goes, I want everyone in case you didn't see it at home, Nikki got a standing ovation to give me that. Like he did. I know why he was doing that, because he wants to build me up. It wasn't so that people actually, it was designed that way. And I thanked him afterwards, and I said, I know you didn't need to be as generous with, you know, the laughter and saying with things afterwards as you did. And he did it for everyone. And it was an example of what I want to like be more like in this business.
It made it more fun. It made him very likable too.
Yeah. It's the way Fallon, you know, when you go on his show, when you do stand up on his show, he comes, which is terrifying. And you don't go up cold, but you're coming back from a commercial break. It's like all of a sudden this person just standing there who's no one's seen. It's like kind of going up cold a little bit for an audience, but he comes out before, warms them up, tells them, oh, I love this girl so much. Like, even if he doesn't, and then he is like cackling at his desk and just his silhouette moving, he probably isn't even making any sound, but he's giving us that. And the audience is watching him to decide how to feel about me subconsciously. 100%. It's the way that I feel about YouTube comments, which I hate so much. I hate that everyone gets to just comment on things all the time. And David, when I talk about this, I always say how you told me that the Hollywood Minute Showbiz, Hollywood Minute on SNL was the only time like celebrities got roasted or like kind of got made fun of or ridiculed
directly like that. Yeah.
Well, it was all People magazine and everything was like fawning.
Yeah. But that was the only place for it in the 90s. Like, and look at it now. That seems insane that would be it didn't
now
exist
we're an angry
before.
mob.
Yeah, and so YouTube comments are constantly there to tell you how to feel about a video. Like, even I'm a pretty savvy consumer, and I feel like I want to watch content and really make my own decision about how I feel about this and not be influenced. But then a little YouTube comment pops up, and if it's like, you know, if it's Fly on the Wall or whatever, commenting like one of the greatest things I've ever seen, and I see a little check mark next to your name, even if I don't know what it is, I'm like, oh, someone with a check mark thinks this is the best thing. Yeah. I like this more no matter what. I just do. Even me who knows that it's trying to get me to like it. So that's what I think it's really detrimental when it's negative. But when Kevin kind of co-signed, it really, I think that's why there's been this fervor afterwards that I've never felt in my career before, of people being like, oh, you had a standing ovation. You were the best one. I'm like, thank you, Kevin Hart. I mean, I did well, but that really, that boost helps so much.
It's hard to have no glitches. It's hard to go through a set. It's hard to go later. When they introduced you, I said, fuck yeah, she's got to go soon, because Andrew Schultz, who's great, and by the time they got to him, I forgot he was going on. I'm like, oh my God, he's got to follow every joke.
I told him.
And he still did great.
I told him, I said, if we swap sets, this could be a different conversation, because he's like, you did the best. Don't even fucking try to tell me I did too. And he's being very sweet, but I go, but we know it was about, they didn't have any juice left, and we were 2 hours into a show. Right. I couldn't believe how well Tom Brady did 3 hours into a show. I was like, but it was a good time all around. Who did you guys in your career, like, do you feel, were there any moments where someone went out of their way to vouch for you or say you're funny that is like stands out to you? I know you have tons, but.
Well, for me, I guess Brad Gray and Bernie Brillstein, they were, they just championed me. I had other managers and people didn't get me. I was sort of a cutesy guy. I didn't look like a comedian. I did a lot of weird sitcoms because I didn't know that I'd be on Saturday Night Live in 3 years, you know?
Whoa, really?
But they were the first ones that said, yeah, you've got it. And
directed you towards SNL and that kind of thing? Were they the ones that say, this is where you belong?
Yes. And Bernie managed Lorne Michaels. Bernie was Lorne's manager.
Got it.
And we were all in the ecosystem there. So it was a lot of luck. But just want for a second, being competitive, like Kevin Hart, I'm sure is, maybe he's like, who can get to $1 billion or whatever, is a separate lane from generosity.
Yeah.
And being, you know, it's like, I can imagine you meeting a version of yourself who's like 22 in the clubs and you catch something good about her.
Yeah, and Tanya Harding her.
Yeah,
you just make sure, well, just to be honest, you probably would squash her. And
right, because of the amount of time I've been doing it versus her. Yeah.
Yeah. And you pull out the tricks and then the baton.
But yeah, I am. That's what I was talking. Like the Jean Bonnet story that I didn't get. Like I'm threatened by girls who are like younger and prettier, and I can see potential in them. Like, of course, I want them to go away and to get a boy like. Brittany Murphy out. I hate to, I'm making obviously a joke, but I want them to get a boyfriend who controls them and then they don't get to succeed and reach their potential. There's a secret deep part of me that yes, because to me, it's a survival of the fittest. And if she's out there, then that's one less spot for me. And people say there's room enough for everyone, but there is a threshold for how many people can know. So there is, you can say it all day. Okay. Everyone can be famous, but not everyone can. There is a threshold. So there is a spot. If someone goes, another spot opens up. But now I fight that disgusting part of my brain that is so jealous and so critical. And when I challenge myself every time I get threatened by a girl on Instagram, like I see a clip of a young hot girl and she's being hilarious, like Catherine Blanford or what is her name? Caroline Benowitz. These two like cute, blonde, hilarious girls. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I just want them to not be funny so bad. I'm watching it like, please don't be funny. And it is, because it is every time, because they're just naturally hilarious in a way that I feel like I'm not. Now, instead of, when I feel like go away, bitch, I post it on my Instagram story and I say this girl's hilarious. I just like, I have to do it. It's my rule for myself to like fight that, because people did that to me early on in my career and tried to like, get me canceled in different clubs and told people I was sleeping with comedians to get stage time. And I was like a virgin. I was scared of sex. And I was suddenly like this whore that was blowing people, disgusting comics for stage time. And it really held me back. I had to like move out of my home club town because it was like, no one respected me and everyone thought I was stealing jokes from guys.
I like that move still works. It's like, she's a whore. It's like, this sounds like, it's like works through the history of time.
Yeah. And
everyone's like, what?
And these guys were right. She's blowing Pauly Shore and he's writing for her. And I was like, I don't know which I should be more insulted by. Not because Pauly's hilarious, but like how could you think he could write these jokes for me and that I would trust him to write to my voice? Like, it was just like, so I try to just do the opposite, even though they're absolutely, I really relate to that bully, the person, the people that even bully me.
What is the phrase rumor monger? Is that the phrase? People who cultivate rumors to destroy people?
It's easy to do, isn't it? Like,
Schadenfreude, the German word for taking joy in your friend's failures. So that we all are 5 years. Oh, okay, we're all 10 years old inside. So there is all those reflexes. It's like Toy Story. There's a new kid in town. All that.
Yeah, we do.
The next Nikki Glaser.
It's instinctual. You're being replaced. There's someone younger. They get more attention. They're more fertile. Like, these are all the things I talk about in my special. But yeah, it makes sense. Like, I remember. what was I just gonna say? But when my bully in my hometown, like who really devastated me, and I really did have to leave town because she got all of my friend comics against me, like my club that I started at, like I just couldn't get stage time because she convinced everyone I was a hack whore, and so. But
that's the title of your next special. Hack whore.
I think that's like the Japanese translation of the one that's out now.
That's your poster.
That's the poster.
In Tokyo.
But what I remember, I had told Amy Schumer was we were dear friends and we were talking about, and she knew all about her, and we both hated this girl, and we're like, you know what, this is gonna drive you to succeed. And I finally got to a place where I was doing really well, and I remember texting Amy one day, like, I found out she's pregnant, and I was kind of like, she's like got a husband or boyfriend, and Amy just goes, "You won!" And I was like, "Oh, you're right. We're not gonna hear much from her now." So yeah. That's my new thing is wishing girls pregnant.
You wish them to get pregnant to get rid of them for a while?
Yeah, because instead of death, just pregnancy.
It buys you some time.
Yeah.
When we did the roast for Rob Lowe, I saw Rob yesterday, actually. When we did the roast for Rob Lowe. Why did I say that? We
love to hear it.
He's because you can't not see him and go like, I'm looking at a perfect.
Yeah.
It's jarring what he looks like. I'm sure you never get used to it, but when we were doing the roast.
It still bothers me.
It is.
He's my John Bonet.
It hurts.
When I did the roast with Nikki, that's the only one I've done, was for against Rob Lowe or whatever it's called. It was Rob Lowe roast. And then I thought one of the interesting things, because I never did it, was the respect and quiet unwritten rule that regular people don't seem to know. When I go to the Improv, if Jeff Ross is on stage, I don't go in. And when they're practicing roast jokes, I saw you the other night, you're doing yours, the other comics that are on the roast step aside on their own. They go, we're not allowed to see each other.
Yep.
And when you go to the stage, Dana, they were like, that day I'm going to just look at the prompter.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe is there. And they go, we got to get Rob Lowe out before you can come in. And everyone's in on it. And everyone understands.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
But we don't
Nikki's
say
in
it.
there. Yeah, they just go, you're not ready to go in yet. And in my head, I go, oh, Nikki must be, someone's in there.
Yeah, we don't. Right. That's the strange thing. I've noticed that. And this time around, like I'm running into Jeff around town, and you're trying to get a sense of like, how hard are we going? With Tom Brady, can we mention Aaron Hernandez? Can we mention him kissing his kids? Can we mention Giselle even? Can we mention Bridget Moynihan? Can we mention him deflating balls? You don't know where the line is. So I got on an early call, and I'm like, what's the vibe? Like, you just want to get a sense of other people's jokes to see what's going on.
You don't know what they are, yeah.
But you can't, because you wouldn't want anyone to see your jokes. So
you go, am I the one going too far? That's the funny part.
And then you hear someone going too far, and you're like, well, now I want to go further.
Yeah,
and now
first
your whole
joke you hear, you go, oh,
bar
fuck.
rises.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me like a week ago. I'm like, wait, there is an Aaron Hernandez joke? Like, we're going to joke about a guy who hung himself in prison tragically after killing someone because he had CTE, which is what all these guys are going to get on stage eventually. Like, we're going there? Let's, okay. Now
there were three of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
might have been.
It was, there were.
Bridget Moynihan said something today.
She did?
She said, and she posted something like, I would never, it wasn't saying her, but she said, I would never let people. It's really what you think she'd say. Something like, that's not something I would do. I thought we would never do stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it was like, because she gets dragged into it, I think from one of your jokes.
Yeah.
But also Giselle took such a fucking beating that all I wanted was her to walk out at the end and get a standing ovation.
How cool would that have been? I'm sure they tried to get her, but there's no way. That would have been so cool.
In a fucking karate gi.
It's Brazilian
with a white belt. She goes, it's a white belt. It's not about
karate.
The karate lesson.
Yeah.
I haven't learned one thing.
Okay, I have a question, Nikki.
Yeah.
In the room and your vibe, you're looking at Tom, you're watching him. He's a good sport. They say he got mad at Jeff Ross for a second. What's your vibe of how much pain or not pain he was feeling, and how much he was expecting these level of jokes, or was he surprised?
I heard he was down for whatever. I mean, there was, we all agreed not to make fun of his kids and the kissing thing. We all were like, we don't want to bring that into it because his kids are in like middle school. We want them to keep that special between them.
Yeah. Right.
And so we just decided that was kind of the only one that I was like, hey, we're all kind of collectively not going to do that. And I would go, okay, well, there goes half my act. Like so much was about
kissing
that.
Dry humping the kid,
because that was the only thing I knew about him. Like that was when that video came out, I was kind of obsessed with it because my dad used to kiss me on the lips as a kid, and I had a bit of like it went into my adulthood where I was like, we can't do this I know we do this as a family, and my other friends would be like, you guys kiss on the like. I related to it, so I had a lot of jokes about that, and then they all went away. But forget what your question was.
Well, did you feel like that he was? Like some people might see that he co-signed for the Giselle jokes, and he had a heads up that where they were going to go to.
Dude, it was so rough. Well, I couldn't look at him because I felt like there's this clip of me online that I'm watching, and he cuts to him, and he looks devastated. Like he looks really shell-shocked.
Like a tight smile.
Yeah, and I thought he would be able to fake it more, but I'm like, oh wow, I thought he was gonna know all of our jokes. I honestly, because he's an EP on it, so I thought and he wants to control things. Like I'm sure he's gonna deflate some of our jokes by looking at him and and making them more palatable for him to handle and hold. And but he didn't, and he because even when Jeff made the Robert Kraft joke about like alluding to the happy ending massages, he got up and was like, no, I didn't hear it happen, but I saw him get up. I didn't know what he said, but I was on Stern yesterday, and he said that he was like, no, that's too far or something. And that was a real moment. Don't ever say
that shit again. Yeah,
that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yikes! I would because Jeff did sit back down and was like, did I cross? Like, was that because he tried to handle it?
Why on God's green earth would it be about that?
What do you mean?
Why is he picking that?
Because I think Robert Kraft was a hard get in that room. And Tom probably vouched and said they are not going to come after you.
You cannot sit in the fucking within a mile radius.
No, but that he should have communicated better because Jeff would have never ever overstepped the line that Tom put down. And he would have made it like he wouldn't have ever. So that wasn't communicated clearly because Jeff was so like
it was like a throwaway.
Conscious about it. Yeah, it was. But he was offended, dude. I really do think that he didn't expect it. But I was checking in with Jeff beforehand, and he was like, he's ready to go. He wants to do this full throttle. Let's go. No holds barred, just not the kids. Like, he can take it. And I go, Giselle, and you're like, yep, he can take it. I'm like, all right. And if you watch a Greg Giraldo roast compilation, that's all you need to do to watch to know what you're in for. Like, it's going to be that level because we're all watching those, and we're all striving for that level of
cringy,
of truth and harshness and and so for him to ever be surprised at anything is just bad planning. And you didn't and you thought you were impervious to it or something. That's insane.
Everything we know about Tom Brady as an athlete, his preparation, his perfectionism. I mean, he would scream it. So there is a crazy as a fox kind of vibe here.
Oh yeah, I mean, studying him,
Well, he's more vulnerable. He's more human. They call him the human robot. He signed a $375 million deal to be in the booth. So these little asides and jokes, it's all been sort of said out loud in a vicious way. So I think it's a new day in town for him walking down the street because you kind of feel empathy for him. There was that joke. I think it was Kevin Hart. You went 8 and 9 and you lost your wife and kids.
Oh, yeah. It was worth going 8 and 9 for.
Yes.
There was that too. But as far as primality, if you talk about the male psyche and the male ego and however that went down, we don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a very, that made me empathetic toward him.
I agree. I think he didn't think that angle of like losing your family would
losing
be
family is a
brought
rough
in.
term.
It is. And the truth is he did it like he didn't abandon his kids. He's like a great father. I hope that he was able to just know that that's not true.
But wouldn't you not want that out there? Just the people the casual viewer goes, oh, he deserves his kids
now
too.
That's what I know about him. Like anyone who doesn't, we defined who he is now. You're so right there. This is opening up a world in which he might face more criticism. I do know he didn't go to the after party. I
fucking would go cry in the corner.
He would have water, but it's divorce with like a total net worth between the two of them about $500 million, and their kids are living online every day. They're 10 and 12 or something like that. So they're seeing all these jokes. So
I know,
brutal.
But then they're already acclimated. It's not out of the blue.
That's a good point. I mean,
It's just their life.
And that was when I said some savage joke about I think the eating ass Giselle joke, and which I was scared to even look towards him. But then I was just like, you're Tom Brady. I go, you'll be okay. Like, I literally said that because I'm like, you will. Like, and you did ask for this. And if you don't know how, it's interesting because I wonder, I'm going on Kimmel later today, and my angle is like, oh, let me read some jokes about me that didn't make it. Like, there's a writer's room, and so many jokes that people didn't use about me because I wasn't. People thought, there's more important people to talk about. I'll read those, and so those are coming in right now, and I'm like, oh God, like, and some of them are from my like close friends who were in that room, and I'm like, you see this thing about me that I thought I only saw about myself, like. I'm having that moment, but I think I feel like it's a good move because I was going to read roast jokes that didn't make it and just go harder on people. And I'm like, no, what if I go hard on myself and it kind of give myself that Tom Brady treatment that I just dished out? But it's hard, man.
It's a great idea. But yeah, it is sort of like, what are people perceiving about me that I don't see?
It's so gross.
Because you don't even, like, they would never, like, the things we said about Tom Brady, you can't even tell him in on a Zoom meeting of like, here's the areas that we might go to. Like, no one did that.
Right.
No one even said, because there are things about me I know that I just already read coming in where I'm like, I really didn't know anyone thought that about me. Like, I really thought that was just between me and the mirror when I'm alone. And so
that's why you can't get roasted. Like, I think I got asked to be roasted once, and it's good money, but I thought I could never handle it. And that's why I never did it. And I only did it as a host. And in the host, you're in the crossfire. And I think some jokes about me got traded because we got that last minute addition and it was too juicy. So everyone jumped on Ann Coulter.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. That's
so
great.
She became the punching.
And later I was told, you dodged a few bullets because people switched. Because,
I'm surprised you did that. I wasn't really friends with you back then, but knowing you now, I'm so glad you did. But it's brutal. It hurts so much. I'm glad that I kind of got brushed over, but there was like one or two jokes about me that afterwards at the after party, I just was kind of a little bit like processing and being like, wait, why did he write like that? Was that a joke or was that from a real place? And like, yeah, it stays with you a little bit. So it's, but it's worth it because it's the exposure and the.
If Brady's my friend, he has a shirt on top and underneath he has a t-shirt. And at the end, he unbuttons it and it's just all the topics that were covered. Giselle Trainer, ass. So he just goes, knew it.
That would, yes.
Knew it. But yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, the early ones, the first one that was big, was it Chevy Chase? One of the first that went on the Comedy Central. And that one, because I don't think Chevy was ready for it. I really saw real pain and real wish I wasn't here. I think now people who do it. I mean, the next celebrity who's going to do it. Come on, man. You have to think of the
Nikki, honestly. What's
you do.
worse?
You have to know that no one is immune to it. But that's kind of like the person we want to get who thinks they're such hot shit that
there's nothing there.
It's everyone else can be looked at like that, but not me. And that's kind of was Tom Brady was feeling.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But now he knows.
Well, Nikki, would you rather be? This is the problem I thought with the Chevy Chase one was Don Rickles and those guys in the old days. If people know, that was the fun roast. Dean Martin. Frank Sinatra, huge stars. And they were little pokes.
1970s.
And they were fun pokes. They're all friends. Chevy Chase, I think it was strangers, hired assassins. So a guy's like, hi, I'm whoever. By the way, you're a piece of shit. And now it's too mean because you're like, wait, who's this guy? And so is it worse from strangers? Or is it worse from your friends? If you were roasting me and it was too mean, I wouldn't even know how to look at you after. I would be.
I felt way worse roasting Jeff Ross and Bert Kreischer. And
oh, right. You said he was disgusting.
I said he's disgusting to look at. And I was going to lose that joke because it's so harsh. And my friends were being like, yeah, it's not really, you don't even say what he looks like. You just say he's disgusting to look at. And I go, no, but that's why it's funny. It's just, it's so that's the reason I like it.
That's not the reason you're discussing.
It's intentional to be.
Who
just
did
to
this
be direct
sea lion
reference?
Like, go back to the ocean?
That was like the only woman you'll ever make wet is the one who helps roll you back into the ocean.
That was your line, right?
Yeah.
It's another great line. It's just a great joke.
And then I had to sit back down next to him and I do love him, and I actually do think he looks better. Like he's looking good recently. I love Jeff Ross, and then to tell Bert, I'm such a fan of your joke. Like I told Bert later, I don't feel that way, and then. But yeah, I think it's strangers. It's easier to be vicious because I don't know them. Like I didn't even meet Tom before the roast, so it was way easier to be to say sociopathic things to him because I didn't. He's just a person. He's just a person on a page to me. Like he's not real.
Isn't Jeff Frost kind of a ladies' man, or
Yeah, he does really. He.
I met him once. A very young, beautiful woman with him.
He's charming and adorable, and it's. But it felt in the past I wasn't close with Jeff, or I guess it was 5 years ago that I did the last one, and this time I felt a lot. I guess I'm growing as a person because I felt way worse this time around saying these jokes than I ever have. I really never even cared
doing
before.
Forever. Tony Hinchcliffe did a good job coming from the crowd.
He killed.
I think coming from the crowd is a great trick. No one expects anything from him. They don't. Most people don't know
bar.
who he is.
Yes.
No bar. Walks out of the audience like. I don't even know what he's doing, and I'm a comedian. I'm like, where is he coming on to introduce something?
Cool.
And then he just casually throws a line out about someone. And people don't like, who is he? Oh, that's kind of funny. Oh, that's pretty funny, and that's really good. Then he gets like Sam J, and he does whatever that one was.
And then it was like, whoa, where did this guy come from?
Bam, and then that king rhythm. And
he
then get
was
off. Great job.
Amazing. I was blown away. That was like such a moment for him. And to walk while you're doing it was just, the truth is the people who do the best on those are the ones that are just like working the hardest. I talking to people afterwards, it's like, what did you do to prepare this? And we were all just so exhausted. The ones, the people that really killed. Just
tighten and
start a month out and just say jokes and edit it down.
Thinking about it obsessively, working with people all day long, and then running it around town 5 times a night. I mean, I did 5 sets a night for like a week and a half.
It's not even the same because you're like, these people aren't on the dais. You're telling the crowd, picture Tom Brady right here. Picture, you know who Tom Segura is? Picture him over there. I'm going to say something. And they're like, okay. It's not quite the same, but you can get a good feel.
Yes. Yeah. I have to explain to a room at the Laugh Factory at 11 p.m. at night, which is mostly Armenians, who Drew Bledsoe is. So for this joke, you need to know he was injured in 2001. And that's what, it's exhausting to set it up. So it was fun to go out and do the roast set for the first time without being like, okay, guys, I set the stage. But it's just such a weird set to do just one
because
time.
Tom sitting there is a whole big
changes everything.
That's how many minutes did you do, by the way?
I don't know how many it ended up being, but it was planned to be. It was in the clubs. It was 7. So at the Forum, it was probably like 8.5 with just the larger laughs. But there was like jokes I put in last minute of like wanting to shoot my boyfriend in the fucking face for a lottery ticket to suck his dick. That was insane. And I added that the day before. And that was like a high risk situation. Like there were some jokes I was like, this isn't even really tested. I don't know if this is going to, it's just, I'm so glad it's over. I mean, don't you guys have those things all the time where it's like so much pressure?
It's so stress.
Well, it's that kind of pressure. I did observe you. There was a wide shot as the show was starting.
Oh, God.
And there's Nikki. And I thought I saw you go, big sigh. Just psyching up.
You probably could see my side from a wide shot at the Forum. You could see my body move.
I could see. Maybe they're panning over. I just saw it and I thought, that's exactly the frame of mind I would be in. Like, okay, here we go. It's also supposed to be ha, 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 ha. But we have a job to do. This is part of my career. This audience is enormous. You don't want to think about it because the way everything is stratified. This is still playing on Netflix. It's trending for months.
Yes.
So you wanted to go, this isn't important. I'm just roasting. Fuck it. But then inside you go, no, this is kind of a big
biggest thing I'll ever do. It's the Super Bowl of comedy. Like the amount of, I'll never have a moment in my career like I had yesterday, the day after the roast. There's nothing I can do as a comedian, hosting SNL, announcing I just had a baby, maybe if I start dating Taylor Swift. That's the only amount of texts I will get. Like this is the scale of this is unprecedented for a comedian. Like my special will come out, I won't even get this many texts. It won't ever happen again like this. And so yeah, but I kind of had a feeling about that. So you can't, there's other opportunities that I've gone, wow, I didn't work hard enough. I didn't understand the scale of that. And I fucking phoned it in, and I'll never do that again. But this, I just had a feeling this is going to be pretty big. So you got to work hard.
What was an opportunity where you felt you phoned it in? I'm just curious.
Recently I presented at the Creative Arts Emmys that was going to be airing on FXX. So I was just like, I had a lot to do that week, and I was like, I'll just do whatever they write for me and punch it up. And I should have had my own angle. John Mulaney won. I'm presenting it to him, and like the thing I did for that was just so not fun. Like I totally blew it. Totally blew it. And I'm like, oh man, this is a room of all like the people in the industry. Like I squandered it. And I go, okay, lesson that I learned 20 years in. I shouldn't have learned this late, but never like treat everything at least as try the best you did, because you didn't do the best you could do.
Are comedians more disciplined now? Because I mean, I know there was always Jerry Seinfeld, at least for me, in the clubs, and he was super disciplined. But a lot of really good comics would get a set, which is maybe like 30, and then they would do crowd work. And they would just develop a drinking problem, and they would go out across the country. And then you'd see them 5 years later. It's the exact same set. Yeah. And then we're meeting John Mulaney and Jim Gaffigan and you and Jerry Seinfeld, and learning about this idea of treating it like a college essay, like every line, and then going into the club night after night. I don't know. People did that back then. The successful ones did.
Yeah. There's a component to being funny that is like just how hard you work. Like we all think it's just natural, and by it is, that's what gets you into it. But yeah, you can be so much funnier by doing things that aren't funny at all and are just really just focusing. But I mean, those guys that you listed, like, I don't work like that on my stand-up. After this roast, I was like, man, if I worked this hard on my that's what, at this level that I worked at, I did for my special that is out on HBO now, but it's like, I didn't give enough time. I worked probably about 2 months on an hour set. In this, I worked for a month on 6 minutes. So for the next hour, I have to work 10 months ahead of time to get this kind of precision. And that's what I learned from this is like, it takes a month to get the 6
and
minutes.
That's going
perfect.
To the club, recording, listening to it, and changing. Okay,
and having a script and working with a writer's assistant who's keeping track of, wait, you said this thing on stage, like who's in the room jotting things down. Because I don't like listening back to myself. So for my special, I hired someone to like come on the road with me and keep track of what I was saying on stage, riffing. That would be funny.
I've never heard that, but that's brilliant.
But like, I just was like, why am I not treating my specials like I would treat if I was a host of a show or a movie? Like, I need help. I want people to punch this up to make it funnier. This doesn't have to be this solo endeavor that I've always thought stand-up is, that I like about stand-up, because it's about control, and I can say, I did this. No, I didn't have any help. I can take all the credit. But it's so much better if you have help, and and you can take credit, because it's the smart way to approach it.
It's a good way to do it, because you're the character. So if someone writes a joke for you, we know kind of what your style is. I think Kevin Hart, a few years back, I was impressed that he'd go to Flappers. Yeah. He'd have just bare ideas, kind of rough ideas. He'd have 4 or 5 writers in the room, even though it was packed 200 seats, and he would just do it. And then they would sort of yell out and he goes, what was that thing again? And then he would do it again. Then they would go in the little room. They'd have that rented out for the night. They compare notes between shows, do this, do this, do this. So there are ways to treat it so it will move faster. It doesn't have to take 2 years to get, say you need, had Dave Attell did 35 of stand-up and 5 of, and it was great.
I loved his special. God.
We did too.
Nikki, I think when our Rob Lowe roast, it was just a hair early, because when you guys get the benefit of TikTok, I wish we had TikTok, Instagram. There's so many things getting passed around after the roast that I don't think we got back then. It was just like, did you see it? Oh, it'll rerun soon. You can watch it in like another month. But A, it's live, so it makes it more, which is a great idea from Ted. And B, it gets passed around. So you're going to see it somehow. You're going to see your set, Tony, whoever, Tom's best joke about the fucking give me 20 million. I'll admit I did it or whatever.
That was wild.
Great.
Yes.
We should
but I've
how
seen
good
even
he did.
seen our old clips are being
because of its
they're
roast?
coming out.
Yeah.
Like I just saw like even leading up, their roast clips are just so sticky online, and I've seen a couple of yours like they're taking them from now, and like I'm getting a boost. I'm seeing boosts from like old roasts of just people regenerating that stuff. But yeah, I mean the scale of this, it was everywhere yesterday. It was
Comedy Central is not Netflix, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Even I did a special on there and it didn't get seen as much as Netflix. Did your Comedy Central compare to Netflix?
I mean, yeah,
or
I did
HBO.
Comedies. HBO. HBO's not global, so which is fine because it's like about you might not be able to tour internationally. I'm okay.
The Congo.
Yeah, because I'll go there if they want me. So I'm I'll go anywhere. I'll take any gig. So I'm kind of glad that, and I don't like traveling internationally. I get stressed out by customs. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm good not going. And HBO has a classiness to it that I really like,
for sure.
and they're really selective. So, but yeah, there's definitely a difference.
My Comedy Central one, Dana couldn't even find. Honestly, no joke. I was like, Dana, check it out. And he's like, I got to get online, and then I got to join.
I couldn't find it.
You can find it on YouTube, I think. But that's almost good though, because that's why when we're in Vegas and I'm like at the Venetian, Dave and I have
Venetian.
so
you two
shows.
play the Venetian
July,
on a regular
September.
basis.
Oh, yeah.
And what's your next gig?
I think it's July. We got July. We got
July and
September.
July's a little hot. They had me play there, and it was 117 the weekend I was there.
I think this is the last July Vegas is going to be functional.
What does that mean?
Just in terms of climate change, like we're getting dicey. So this is one of the last summers I think that town will be inhabitable. But actually, it's kind of all indoors at this point,
and we'll be there.
No, but it's still the crowd is wilted. That's a problem.
Yeah, they've been out in the sun, but it's such a fun show. But that's why I'm always like, Dave, will you just do bits from that comedy set? Like I know them, and you can because no one saw it, and I feel the same way about some stuff in the past.
And I hate it because you go, God, I did it, and I technically am not supposed to use them, but I'm like,
but you can again.
I work so hard on it, and then I'm like, and who saw it? And then you do one anywhere else, and you go, oh, these people saw it.
Yeah.
And it feels like I did it.
Shame. But you know what? But you have the kind of jokes that you want to hear again and again. There's like only a handful of comedians who you want. Same with you, Dana, like this, that you want to see bits again. Like it's not just the element of surprise that makes it funny. I think a lot of my jokes are like, it's that turn of phrase at the end. Yeah. And once you hear it, it's like the rabbit's out of the hat. But for you guys, I think I want to hear stuff over and over.
Well, I don't know. Last time you saw me, I didn't have anything. I just had bare notes. It was.
Oh my God, you were so funny. Last time I saw you, it was such a treat.
I'm just doing, I kind of am a sketch player at heart. So then if I do, say, Paul McCartney and the audience is hot, I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
But I was interested in you guys on the road. So who do you flip a coin? Who closes? Who opens?
Oh, Dave closes. I don't want to touch that.
Because he's David Spade.
Yeah, he's fucking David Spade. He's my favorite comedian. I start sounding like him by the end of the week. Like that's the joy of working with him, is like I absorb his funniness a little bit, and I can spin it. Like I totally steal his like cadence, not even intentionally. It's like when Madonna starts sounding British. Like you just hang out enough, and you just can't help but be funnier around him. And then I get to, it's when you're on the road, you just like after you get off stage, I have to go do a meet and greet, and I'm kind of alone But after I get off stage, I just get to go watch my favorite comedian, and like they're doing stuff that I requested. Like I get to put in requests.
Then
and
I look
so
at Nikki
fun.
and mention her half the time because
and
she likes a joke, I look over and go,
it's so fun. And we go out to dinner beforehand, and it's just a great weekend.
It makes it a weekend I look forward to.
Same.
And we do it about 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, when you're solo on the road, really solo, it's a little lonely. You're in the day of the hotel is so long, and what do I do? It's like, so if you do have another person there, the whole energy, you come out. I remember playing a big casino with Dennis, and it was starting at 8, and it's one of those things where they come in later, but we peeked out the curtain, and all the chairs were empty.
Oh,
it was like 7:58, and he goes, Christ sakes, Carvey, are we 3-dog night all this time? It's like, so Dennis, then they rush in, they're finishing their drinks, and they rush in, and we were okay. But at that moment,
all right, we got to let Nikki go.
Okay.
So you got Jimmy Kimmel tonight. What's your first line? You sit down, your first joke.
I'll probably thank him for sending me an email because he that'll get us into some areas. And I really do want to thank him because he wrote me a really nice email when he didn't need to, and he's a busy man. So I'll probably do that. Ingratiate myself.
Ingratiation, good.
Maybe talk about my spray tan, something. I don't know. I always comment on, just try to get it,
whatever's
kick it off.
going on to settle in. Just settle in.
Yeah.
Something. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
make a joke about how I'm trying to dress like Dua Lipa, like the outfit I'm wearing. I'm who do I think I am? Something like that.
Love it.
Okay.
We'll find out if you did.
I'm going to set my VCR.
I watched you last night, Spade, on Kimmel. I guess you were on like a month ago or something like that. And I watched your set to like be inspired because you are always so great on those. And I watched you before Howard too. I did Howard yesterday and I was like, what's the vibe I want to go into with Howard? Like my ideal Howard is a Spade Howard. And I didn't nail that, but I definitely listened to you beforehand to like get in the right state of mind. So
all those take work. The talk shows, those are things you gotta plan out a little bit.
Absolutely.
People don't realize that. You can't just flounder and just go, I'm so interesting. You're like, nope.
You got to have a plan and learn that the hard way as well.
Yep.
Won't do that again.
I'll just leave it at this as the business side of my head. My final comment is that you're still penetrating the market, not a sexual pun, and you're growing your brand. And I do think this special, coupled with the roast and the spot you were in and how you killed, so it's just kind of cool. You are like your own company, and it's just doing very well. I just
thank you, Dana. That means so much to me, and like just the fact that I know both of you is true. I said it on Tiger Belly yesterday. Is an achievement of my career. Is like getting to know.
Well, you were my favorite. David told you that because David, he would go to dinners and stuff, and people would visit, and then you were always the easiest person
I got to go to a dinner
to.
with you once, and then we had such a great talk, and then I felt like I was friends with you afterwards. It just took one dinner, and it was amazing. That was one of the best nights of my life. Like it was so cool.
Well, I'd love to do it again.
I would too. It felt like it today. Thank you guys for having me.
Pleasure.
Right, bye, sweetheart.
Okay. Enjoy.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy yourself.
Bye.
This has been a presentation of Audacy. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Audacy, Charlie Finan of Brillstein Entertainment, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.